The African Legislative Aid Forum is sounding the alarm, warning that democracy across the continent is sleeping, and the fault line runs straight through Africa's weakest link, its parliament. Speaking at a press conference inside the Senate Press Center at the National Assembly Complex, Abuja, Chairman of the National Assembly Legislative Aid Forum, Barrister Emeka Nwala, cautioned that recent political breakdowns in Niger, Gabon, Mali, and Burkina Faso are not isolated events, but clear evidence of institutions collapsing under the weight of neglect.
We are not unaware of the collapse of democracy in some African nations, resulting in the return of military governance in countries such as Niger, Gabon, Mali, Burkina Faso, and so on. It is also evidence-based that parliamentary structures in some African nations are struggling due to weak democratic institutions. These worrisome realities echo the urgent need to prioritize initiatives desired to strengthen African legislative aids to play an effective role to consolidate democracy in the region. The planned conference will also explore the growing strategic roles of legislative aids in legislative research, democratic accountability, digital governance, and institutional performance as critical areas to build desirable legislative aids assets.
Nwala stressed that legislative institutions are supposed to be the backbone of democratic governance, the place where national interests are protected, accountability is enforced, and citizens' voices are upheld. Yet, across Africa, he lamented these parliaments have been underpowered, underfunded, and underestimated for far too long. On the critical role of legislative aids, Nwala explained that aids from the unseen engine room of democratic works researching, drafting, coordinating, and supporting legislators to deliver on national and global development goals. He said the maiden African Legislative Aid Conference, slated for December 1st to 3rd, is designed to build stronger regional partnerships and upgrade the capacity of aids across the continent.
The conference, which comes under the theme Empowering Legislative Aids as strategic drivers of parliamentary effectiveness in African nations, is essentially designed to strengthen the capacities of African legislative aids and to build strong regional partnerships and cooperation required to reinforce parliamentary and democratic processes in Africa. As it is universally known, Parliament represents and legitimizes democracy, accelerates national and global development. A strong and effective parliament accordingly impacts positive change in democratic institutions and fosters good governance. These insights underscore the imperative need to retool and empower African legislative aids, who are key drivers of parliamentary effectiveness, through references and regional integration towards preparing them to transform the parliamentary support systems in Africa.
The upcoming event is expected to draw some of Nigeria's most influential leaders, including Vice President Kashim Shettima, First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Speaker of the House Abbas Tajuddin, and other principal officers of the National Assembly. For Nwala and the Forum, the message is clear. If Africa's democracies are to survive the next decade, its parliament and the people who power them must be strengthened now, before the cracks become irreversible.